What's up guys, it's SS Civ here once again with another Splatoon 2 analysis video, but this time we're going to be looking at the Splatoon 2 version 5.4 update rather than a specific weapon. Let's start here right away with the new weapon changes. We see here that they've nerfed Torpedo. The delay after throwing a torpedo is now 8 frames longer than it was previously, affecting all weapons that have the torpedo as their sub-weapon. Clearly this is designed to reduce torpedo spam. I know this has been a big problem, particularly for weapons like the Clear Dapple Dualies or the Splattershot Junior Kenza Edition. Both of which, if you've been in the X ranks, you know they're throwing way too many torpedoes to make the meta happy. So I'm very happy to see this change. Should definitely help tone things down a little bit. Reducing that torpedo spam will definitely help make the X ranks a little bit nicer here, I'd say. Moving on, it looks like they are buffing. I'm sorry. They are nerfing the arrow spray's range by 20%. I was a little nervous there. I definitely agree with this. The arrow spray definitely has too much range. We've seen it dominating again at the top of the charts. It's a little too accurate in my opinion too, but they didn't nerf the accuracy at all. Just reducing its range 20%, trying to bring it in line with other close range weapons. Next up, we have Ink Armor here. It looks like Ink Armor now makes you indestructible for its entire duration. You can't be defeated, can't be splatted, no matter how many times you're hit or what weapons hit you. So this is going to be a huge buff. I know Ink Armor's been weak since the very beginning here, since Splatoon 2's very first opening, version 1.0. It's been way too weak. This is finally going to bring Ink Armor, I think, into the meta here a little bit. I'm happy to see it. I guess as a side note, I do watch English dubs of Japanese anime, so trust me, I know what I'm reading here. I know Japanese is tough for a lot of people, but I definitely know what I'm reading here. So moving on then, I'm looking here, it looks like E-Leaders now charge instantly, and they have doubled the E-Leaders range. This feels like a little bit of an overbuff to me, if I'm being honest. I feel like maybe making the range 1.5 times might bring it more into line with other weapons. But this is something the E-Leaders have been needing for a while. They've definitely needed a buff. I am worried this might be too much, but I'm glad to see them getting some attention here from Nintendo for once. The next thing I see here is 1 sub of main power-up will now get you the maximum effectiveness for all Nozzle Noses, Splatter Shots, and the Dually Squelchers. So pretty much you needed multiple main power-ups, I think like 3 mains, 4 subs for the Splatter Shots and the Dualies, and something like 1 main, 3 subs for the Nozzle Noses to get to that 99.9% damage. Now you only need 1 single sub. I think this is a great buff for all those weapons. They've been underutilized, not very respected here. This will definitely go a long way towards making things better for them. I'm excited to give it a try. I know this is going to open up a lot more flexibility with choosing your kits here for what you're going to be bringing on those weapons. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. Looking here in specials then, we do see that the Undercover Brella special is down to 190 points from 200 points. This is probably to offset that torpedo nerf that it suffered from. So, you know, you get a little bit less torpedo spam, but now you get your special a little bit quicker to help offset that. A good call, I think, in my opinion. Definitely needs a little bit of help. I think that'll help to offset that torpedo nerf and should keep it well in range, keeping it balanced with the other weapons here in Splatoon 2. The other special I think I'm really going to emphasize here is that the Heavy Splatling has had its special charge increased from 170 to 180 points, all versions of it. However, now their specials will display in 4K instead of 1080 HD. You can see that real clearly there in the notes. The 4K, clearly they're going to try and buff it, not necessarily by making the weapon better, but by simply making it look a little bit cooler, a little bit fresher. I think that's a very cool. It's a little interesting to see weapons with different amounts of pixels associated with them, but I think that's a cool move, and I'm hoping to see more of that here in the future with Splatoon 2. Looking at some of the big updates here now, at the bottom here of their list, that's where Nintendo keeps their biggest changes. First thing we see here, Salmon Run will now cost Super Snails to play. So normally you can play it as much as you want, but now it's going to cost a Super Snail each time you want to play it. And in addition, you now have to reach Professional 800 before you can play at Hazard Level Max. I believe your team had to average 600 Professional to play Hazard Level Max before, but they are going to bump that up to 800. I like it. It takes almost no time to get to 600, and as a result, there's a lot of lower level, I guess, noobish players, I'd call them, that are getting into Hazard Level Max that really aren't there. Asking players to go to all the way up to 800 now for Hazard Level Max for each and every Salmon Run ship that becomes available. I think that's a great move. It'll only take a little bit longer, but should help to weed out some of the lower level players. Next thing we see here is that Splatoon 2 is actually going to be removing 3 of its ranked and league play modes. Starting in March, Clam Blitz is going to be the only ranked mode available. I love it. I know a lot of players hate Rainmaker. I know they're not a fan of Tower Control, and Splat Zones is boring as hell. So this is a huge move. They're making Clam Blitz the only ranked and league play mode available. I love it. I know it's everyone's favorite game mode. They want to play with some more football clams. Now's your chance. I think this is really the great update here. This is really the kicker, the biggest thing. I'm super psyched for it. I know this is really going to rejuvenate the community that's been on the dying end or falling off here. They're all going to be coming back now. And finally, a little bit of a sour note here. It does look like Splatoon 3 has been canceled. I know they just announced it a week or so ago, but it looks like they've decided to end it here already. Not sure what the information or what the reasoning was behind it. They didn't supply any information here in the update or patch notes, but I guess they've decided to cancel Splatoon 3. Just keep us here with Splatoon 2 for another few years. I mean, ultimately, I guess I'm okay with that. It's a little disappointing, I admit, a little sad to hear, but I mean, if we got Clam Blitz 24/7, you can't be complaining too much. So that's really all the major changes here that we're going to be seeing with the patch 5.4 update that's going to be coming out here in a few days. There were a few smaller changes I just glanced over that you're not really going to notice, such as the 52 gal. You can now fly with it as if you've got an inkjet attached to you 24/7, but that's nothing. That's pretty much not changing the game in any way. So I jumped over that and a couple other small ones you won't really notice. If you've got any concerns or any questions, let me know in the comments below. Certainly let me know what you think about these patch updates, what you're most excited for, if there's anything disappointing, and of course what other changes you might want to see in the next Splatoon 2 update in patch 5.5. I hope you all have a great day. Feel free to like and sub if you want to see more updates just like this one. Again, I hope you all have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you in the Inkopolis Plaza.